measure improvement day to day as an offense in this time period, and for yourself personally, how do you look at that?
Yeah, I think it's we've had a couple different phases now. We're back into competing against the defense, and that's a little easier to measure because you can put a grade on it. You can say was that successful or not, complete, incomplete, all those things. It's a little tougher on air. I think having those few weeks though to prepare and really master the system helps. And now, like today, I feel like we were pretty clean. Obviously, you're going to always have a few things here and there you want to clean up, but I really like where we're at. I feel like I don't want to say ahead of schedule, but I really feel like we're right where we need to be. The way that Coach Peterson, press, all of our whole staff is installed the offense, really strategically, and I really like where we're at, and the guys are picking it up great.
How do you feel about your own showing today in terms of sharpness, all that stuff? Yeah,
I felt good. I mean, like I said, there's always a couple. I gave Devon an early birthday present. Not sure when his birthday is, but threw one straight to him, so don't do that. But besides that, I think I had a good day. Obviously, always looking to improve, and when you have a bunch of guys that we didn't play together last year, and then throw in some rookies as well, you're still just trying to work out the kinks and get on the same page, and that's still where we're at. But like I said, I'm really happy with where we're at, and we've had some big plays. Just chemistry's building quick, which is always good to see.
Obviously, you worked with Tyler a lot at the center position, but some new pieces on that offensive line. Tyler full-time right now, as well as Luke. Does it take a second? What can you actually gain from these OTAs right now in terms of gelling with the offensive line?
A lot, just communication. That's huge between them up front, just those five, and then also myself. Communicating, whether it's we need to change something, get us to a better play, all those things. If we can all be on the same page, makes it that much easier. So that's something you just work the whole offseason and during the season too. And then when you have new guys, you got to figure out how you communicate, what's the best way to talk to each other, and all those things. And I think we all get along great, and everybody's great to work with. And Big Sheriff up front, he's y'all have seen him. He's a man, so he's going to help us a lot. And excited to have him for sure. Shatley's done a great job. He's a really smart player. Ever since I've been here, he's helped me a lot. So thankful for that. And then Luke, I haven't got to work with Luke as much. He just got here, but really excited to have that depth and just some talent up there that's looks really good.
How are you feeling about your timing with some of those new guys, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram?
Yeah, it's really coming along. Like I said, obviously you start from kind of the ground, work your way up, and I really feel like we're starting to gel and starting to get our timing more and more down, our chemistry, knowing where those guys are going to be, how they run different routes versus different coverages. We're really starting to click a little bit, and it's fun to, you guys probably saw a few plays out there. It's fun when you see that happening. So we're really excited.
Set a clock for that. Now that you've gone through it, okay, we got plenty of time to get to September. Hey, let's do a little more in the summer because we're new offense. Have you mapped that out in your mind, or do you even need to?
A little bit. I think obviously this staff, like I said, has done a great job of mapping that out for us. That's I think that's a huge part in the NFL compared to like the change from college to the NFL is how you plan out your off season, because there's so many options of when you start, when you finish, what you do each day. It's really flexible. You just have that time window, but deciding what to fill those days with. And I think our staff's done a great job of getting us the right amount of time on the field working together, but also in the classroom, meeting rooms, all that. So I like where we're at. Obviously, we're gonna do some stuff in the off season. I've thought about all that and gotta clear some things up and get those plans set. But I've thought about that. But I really like where we're at. Obviously, you can't get complacent though. You got to keep building, and the clock is just by the time we get to camp, we want to be. You still have a few weeks, but you want to be as clean as you can be when you get to camp, and we're right on track for that.
The third offense in 3 years. Is it any easier from a year ago? Is there maybe a sense of here we go, we got to start all over again from scratch, or how do you look at that?
Yeah, it's definitely feels like that at first because there's just a lot of new information. But I'll say it's a lot easier learning an offense. This is your second NFL offense compared to my first one last year. It was a lot more challenging just because it's so much different from what we ran in college, our system, compared to a pro-style system. And that change was pretty drastic. So now this year I really have picked things up pretty quick because I have a whole other system to go back on that I can compare things to because every offense runs some of the same plays, a lot of the same plays, and you just call them different things, and you might protect a little bit different, have a little bit different rules, but it's a lot easier to pick up the second time, for sure.
I know obviously it's a different personnel than last year, this year, a lot of factors, but In terms of pressure, the defensive line got after you today. Roy got after you a bit. Adam, how have you seen those guys? Well, maybe did it feel different today than maybe it did 365?
Well, those guys are big tempo violators on the other side of the ball. I mean, didn't really have pads on today, but no, they look great. The guys that were here last year, our D line played really well, and obviously, so you just expect those guys to keep playing well. So just awesome to have Roy, AG, Devon. A ton of other people I can't name them all right now. Up front, Josh Allen, all those guys. And then the new guys we got to see that depth start to build on both sides of the ball, and really just to have so many weapons is huge. And just offensively and defensively, in my eyes, I think it's night and day where we were last year. And I'm just excited to keep working and building on that because I really think we got something going right now.
First impressions of Travon Walker?
Oh, he looks the part for sure. Just really his demeanor. I enjoy being around him. Really calm guy, humble, hard worker. And then obviously you see him and you see why he's the #1 pick and all that. But just his personality. I'm excited to get to know him more. I really think that's kind of the type of personality that I gel with. So excited to get to know him. Think he's going to be a great player for us.
Trayvon said y'all crossed paths when y'all were in high school. Do you remember him back when he was in high school?
Yeah, so I didn't know him well, but I remember we're both from Georgia, so I remember meeting him and would see kind of follow him, loosely in college, and then to see obviously him come out this year and that Georgia's team last year was so stacked. And I was actually at the game. We played Clemson first game of the season, so I got to see him firsthand, and now playing together is pretty cool.
Trevor, I think Doug said a couple weeks ago he'll see if you like some of the stuff that you did last year. You just mentioned, a lot of the plays are similar in every playbook, but do you feel like you already have some of that input of what you were comfortable with last year, and even though it might change in Doug's playbook or what it's called, that you're doing some things that you're familiar with?
For sure. we've already talked a little bit about what those things are that we can carry over. A lot of them, like you said, we already have. Like, we haven't installed everything yet, but a lot of the things that we did last year that I liked, we just call them something different. So just conversating and letting them know what I like, what I don't like. I think the communication's been really good so far, and we've already had a couple of those meetings, and just that's the best way to do it, when you can just collaborate. And obviously, from my standpoint, Coach Peterson, press, they got the final say, but I want to be a part of that process, and they've been awesome and just working together. And I think we see things the same way, and it's fun having a group that communicates really well.
Can you tell that he's a former quarterback?
Oh yeah. Just the way I think you can always tell the way a coach communicates with a quarterback. Because he's been in my shoes. So quarterback's an interesting position. It's not a big rah-rah, choose somebody out. You have some coaches that are like that, but for me, that's just not what I need. I can have a conversation, and Coach Pearson's great about that. And every play, he gives you a piece of feedback that another coach might not give you, just because he knows what it's like, and it's something little that he might see that someone else doesn't see. So having the head coach be able to step in, even today a couple times, 3 or 4 times after a play, he'll come over and give me a little tip or whatever. And just having a head coach that can do that and really, really knows what he's talking about is cool.
I know we've talked a lot about last year's debacle, but Coach Peterson said he felt like you guys, the players who were here last year, need some healing. Did he mention that specifically to you guys, and do you get a sense that maybe it manifests itself in OTAs and in the offseason conditioning program, that you guys get to kind of bond and heal and get a regain trust in this coaching staff?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's – sorry. A lot of different fluids going on up here. I think that's the biggest thing in a team, is just trusting each other, trusting in the guys in the locker room, but also the staff. And that's something clearly we didn't have a lot of last year. So, I think our locker room did a great job last year of staying together, but just it's cool to see him make that a priority, and he knows and understands that is definitely something that we have to make sure that we have in this building. And I do think we're building that, and from everything I've seen, everybody's trusting one another and really just going to work and preparing ourselves.
How does right now you guys are obviously in the stadium practicing, but then also knowing you're going to be at Episcopal during training camp, it's not like a normal practice facility right now. How does that, if at all, change preparation, mindset, how you guys operate during a practice setting?
It shouldn't at all. You just tell us where to go, and we'll either hop on a bus and go there, or we'll walk out to the game field. It doesn't matter where we're at. The same every day you got the same job. Try to get better and be as good as you can be. So it shouldn't change, but it is a little another obstacle to kind of work through, but it's not too big of a deal.
What stands out to you?
Christian so far?
What?
Christian.
You just answered
You guys
the
are too
question.
kind.
Go ahead, man.
You guys.
So,
Same question. Go ahead.
Okay.
Same
Christian
thing.
Kirk, your impression.
and he's great. Just from a football IQ sense, I think he's really quarterback friendly. The way he sees the field, different coverages unfold, the way he runs his routes, I just think he's quarterback friendly. And then obviously his speed is something that we really needed, and it's going to help us a lot. And you guys saw today, he can fly and locate a ball, all those things. Really, really talented, and we get along really well. Like I said, similar personalities and demeanors, and really that's the cool thing is seeing how the staff has built the locker room with the guys that were already here and the new guys we signed. Just seems like we're all on the same page, and everybody's a team first guy. Don't have any selfish guys in that locker room, which is obviously really important.
You and Chris, you guys been bonding through golf?
Yeah, we play a little bit. Christian's better than me, sadly, but yeah, we've been playing a little bit. He's more obsessed with it than me. I've been playing a ton, but he probably plays more than me. But he's yeah, that's something that we played probably like our first week down here, and probably gonna play this week too. So it's fun to have a guy that I can go out there with, and yeah, it's a good time.
What's your lifetime low score?
Oh God, it's not very good. Like 90, 92. So I still haven't broke 90 yet. So I need to work.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
being
I'm
told-
not very good.
I was told today that Walker is a 9 handicap, Walker Little.
Yeah, right. No. Walker's probably a 14, 15.
What did I say?
I heard, so the word
He's better than me though, so I can't say anything.
word on the
but
street is he's been playing like forever.
yeah,
So he's at, yeah.
Christian and Walker are pretty comparable. They're both pretty good. CJ's good too, actually. I've seen him shoot like 83. Yeah, CJ is good. He can kill the ball. Yeah.
Trevor, are you lighter? And if so, is that to increase your speed more than it already?
I'm about 217, 218 right now. I'm a little lighter than I was. I'd say the heaviest I was last year was 221, 222 maybe. So I'm a little lighter. I actually got really sick 2 weeks ago and lost like 8 pounds, so I'm getting it back. I was like 212 for a minute, but yeah, I had like some stomach bug, so that doesn't help. So I'm kind of building back from that, but no, I want to be as heavy as I can be, hopefully in the 220 range, and I'm happy with that, so I can still move well.